Leading the Giants by 21 points, 7-3-45 to 3-6-24, early stages into the third quarter. And just for the hard yakka stats, Robert Murphy, number one ranked player for the Bulldogs, 21 disposals, had 10 in that third quarter.
Well, the side that deserves a lead sits in the lead. I mean, there's only been one probably 8-minute burst where you thought that Richmond were going to take control of it. When they started to win some ball out of the middle, the centre clearances two-man at the moment sit 9-7 in favour of the Western Bulldogs. At one stage that was very lopsided, and that was what got them some one-on-one opportunity, and Jack started to get dangerous all of a sudden. But the sign of how far they come, the Dogs, they steadied, they hit in a little bit harder, and they went back down the other end, and Stringer and Grant kicked 2 goals to get that lead back out to 5 goals. They deserve it, Spud. I can't see the turnaround. It'd have to be something pretty special.
Well, they're going through different targets, guys. Rance was okay that quarter, but as you said, Grant kicking 1, Dixon 2, Crameri and Stringer. So different targets there, hit-up type targets instead of going long.
Around the grounds for the TAC, Chua.
Yeah, JP, we've got Melbourne leading the Giants by 15 points, early stages, third quarter.
Back up, Honeychurch was stripped to the footy, went back hard to get it again. Well done, young man. Got a handball out to Goods. Goods got it bouncing to half forward. Out in front of Bontempelli is Rance. Rance gets claimed now by Bontempelli. Tackled him well too. Spun him in the tackle. And there'll be a bounce at half forward. Dogs going to the punt road end. Lead this by 5 goals or as good as. Very early in the final term on the Triple M Harvey Norman scoreboard. So they've got to kick more than 5 unanswered here, Richmond, and they've only managed to kick 6 for the game. So it's a tough ask. Bouncing ball off the shin of Martin. And again, a stoppage out of side, sort of 60 from home, Dogs end.
Oh, that's a very good point you make, JB. And I just look at the moment, the way Luke Beveridge is coaching these guys is going to take a Herculean effort from Richmond to get into this game.
Vincent knocks it down effectively. The kick, though, from Goods, not so flash, only went about 5 metres. Hooley comes in, grabs it immediately. He's grabbed. Now an opportunity in midfield for the Tigers. McIntosh did well knocked it across to support Morris and comes directly across the ground into the path of Hunt. Got an obliging bounce, under pressure, kicks it down towards right half forward. Going back with courage, Flostone unable to keep it in as Morris. He was coming up behind Flostone. He knocked it down in front of the pair, ran onto it, but the boundary line was too close.
And we'll go from here, of course, pretty much straight away. Not quite straight away, but not long, to Collingwood and Adelaide. Had games at Etihad, in case people didn't realise. It's the ball on the ground. Shut up, Spud. Almost Dusty Martin. Goods nice and hard out of 2. And we're going to have it thrown up.
You were first there today, JB.
I was, I know. Before my time, like in so many areas. I was there before anyone, in fact. As the 2 ruckmen who have gone at it all day have a piece, and then Martin on hands and knees reels the ball back in. That's trouble. He was claimed by Wallace. Honeychurch dispossessed. He goes. He's nice and hard at it, Honeychurch. So's Ellis. Handball to Grigg. Grigg a sideways one that's got to work. It does. Nicely done. And he gets it to Gordon, centre of the G.
Gordon prods it down towards half forward, coming up on the lead. Newman takes the mark, goes towards the pocket and Revolt. So Revolt initially moved to his right and then came hard at the kicker, and he's taken this one about 35 metres out, 45-degree angle. He'll run over the numbers to kick in that left half-forward flank position, going towards the city end.
Well, Newman's gone forward, so that's another decision. Another player that can actually use the footy and try and find targets inside 50.
Revolt, just the 1 goal this afternoon. Stuttering performance on the forward line. Haven't had a dominant forward by any stretch of the imagination. Firing at his second, it looks pretty good. Hit the post. Halfway up, and that's huge. That may have got him going again. After he kicked his first goal, he had about a 5 good minute spell.
I think we knew where you were going with it, Dan.
The other win at the moment is that Rance has gone to Dixon, which is a complete different matchup for him.
Jong in the front. Unable to take the mark, but then a very nice follow-up tackle on Miles, who has it held in. Trouble, holding the pill. And John's going to take it. You heard the umpire.
Hold that mark. Come out, Chris. Take him away, Bob. Take him away.
A short one on to Honeychurch, ignored, so further afield now. Bontempelli caught behind, and Hooley able to take, in the end, a pretty well uncontested mark.
They structure up though well for an intercept mark, Jim. I'm just watching behind the footy. As soon as the intercept's taken, the Dogs go straight into this really well structured setup. that doesn't allow free plays in the middle of the ground.
Long ball forward. Talia just looks like a good player. I thought he'd taken that mark. He hadn't. So now it's Newman on the left. Long,
good
dangerous ball's going to bounce through.
You've called it, Gaz.
So Chris Newman, the first of this final term to tighten things up. Triple M Harvey Norman scoreboard.
No, it looks dangerous with Rewalt there. Gaz called Newman going forward, and he's a very good kick. Probably meant for Rewalt, but went over the top. Great mark from Hooley there. They'll be disappointed with that Luke Beveridge. Should have been half the contest on the wing. We just have a look on the Triple M Chemist Warehouse replay screen, and we know he's got a great leg on him, Chrissy Newman. There's no doubting that. That's the start they needed in this last quarter.
Well, I just saw some effort there from Ben Griffiths that I didn't like, and it was only that Newman was on the spot. He's got to grit his teeth. He's got to get involved again. He's kicked one goal, needs to provide really strong targets.
So another test now facing the Western Bulldogs. They've responded every time so far today. Minson goes up, slaps it down, taken by Miles though. So the Tigers win it out of the centre. Searching kick down towards half forward, sprinting up the ground. Griffiths takes the mark. Now he wants to move it quickly, sends it long down towards full forward. Gordon from behind got high, off hands, falls to Cochin. Cochin snaps, hangs in the air for an eternity, and over the top, Rebold is marked in the square. He'll go back directly in front and meter out.
This is the man. This is the man who lights them up, Spud. I mean, the centre clearance from Miles was sensational. Griffiths did what he had to do, but this bloke gets them going.
And he comes, trying for the third tier, gets the back of the second, puts it through, and suddenly this game is back in the bag. 73, Richmond 57, back-to-back goals, and that's on the Triple M Harvey Norman scoreboard.
Magnificent mark from Jack Rewalt. We just have a look at the Chemist Warehouse replay screen. It was 2 Tigers versus 1 Bulldogs. We've praised the Bulldogs' defence, but they were half asleep on that occasion. That should have been put through for a behind, but there was 2 Richmond players, and Rewalt did the job. You could just tell that was his time.
So the disposals this quarter, 20-5 Richmond's way. Bulldogs haven't been inside 50 yet.
1-5 the last 6 centre clearances, the Tigers.
Back to 16 points. The noise you're hearing is the Tiger Army. They've had not much to enjoy today, but the last 10 minutes or 5 minutes have been really good. Jong, footy held to him.
The other thing, the Bulldogs have not had an effective kick in this last quarter so far.
Can they steady the Dogs? They've found a way all day. They're now being challenged. Marriage down, but straight to Bontempelli. High ball forward. Boyd claiming he was held, no free. Chaplin able to get it from Rance, who's been sublime, and kick it into the path of Ellis, I think it was, who took the mark in the end, even though Grant thought he'd broken it up.
Well, Dixon was trying to keep Rance deep, but Rance just read the ball far too easily. He's absolutely on fire, Rance.
Ellis from the outer side goes looking for Marriage, had it knocked away, falling over was Boyd. Now an opportunity for the Tigers to tidy up, and there's going to be a free kick out there. High tackle.
They're winning the ball now,
Cochin with the free. Breaks across half-back in characteristic fashion. Kicks directly out towards the opposite side of the ground, the broadcast side, and right on the numbers. It's taken by Batchelor, who's been a good player. Batchelor looks for a lead, kicks it up towards the wing. In comes McIntosh, just on the ground through the interchange. He's tackled immediately and dragged down. Umpire, I think, will whistle it up. Umpire Bannister. Right in front of our commentary position at the interchange gates. Here at the MCG, where the Dogs lead 73-57, but the Tigers are coming. The margin was 29 at three-quarter time. All Tigers so far in this final term. Boyd is in there, the big fellow Tom Boyd lays a tackle, but standing up in the tackle, Miles kicks it down towards half forward. McIntosh goes at the foot, he could have been taken high. No free kick, in goes McRae, knocks it away. Opportunity now, well played by Wood. Got a hand pass to Bontempelli. Bontempelli gave it to Picken. Picken under pressure, kicks it down towards half forward. Chaplin peels off, comes to the footy, straight through his legs. Morris is backing up his key defender. Hand passes to Rance. Rance goes to the outer side. Full stretch, it's Gordon. Breaking hard is Chaplin. He's got 2 to choose from. Comes back towards the wing. Taken by Hunt. Run down.
Jeez.
Not a great creative team.
No, he goes now to Boyd. This is Matty by hand. Crashes through a tackle, Matty Boyd. Gives it off to Cramery. Oh, Minnow hasn't moved. Last 5 minutes, he hasn't bloody moved, Minnow.
Statue.
Long ball inside 50 now. Mark
it's got to be a free kick.
All day long. Dicko.
Yeah, good decision, umpire.
Dixon.
Well, he milked it, but it was there.
Absolutely murdered in the marking contest. Can go back and kick his fourth.
Pressure. You just got to keep asking the question. They asked the question of Taylor Hunt. on that occasion, and he just turned the footy over when they were going for the Tigers. That's why some blokes are paid a lot of money, so some blokes aren't, and why some blokes are let go by their clubs.
So Tory Dixon to kick his fourth and to answer for the Dogs, and they need an answer early in this final term. He shouldn't miss from here. Punt road end, and he hasn't. Good player.
What a game.
Got 4.
Yep.
11-13-79 to 8-9-57. Triple M Harvey Norman scoreboard.
Yeah, you're right. They had all point was absolutely spot on, Gaz. That just errant kick there has just put one nail into the coffin of the Tigers' game. There's no doubting that. And then the ball went down the other end, and the Dixon move to deep is starting to pay dividends.
Well, I love it for a couple of reasons. Means that Rance's rebound and run has been nullified. That's the classic case of being a forward who's able to demand that your defender play honestly. And earlier in the piece we saw when a defender just says, nah, I'm not worrying about you, I'll just take off.
Just with Bontempelli, 22 disposals, 10 tackles today. He had 10 tackles last week.
Cochin goes to ground after that bounce. Going nowhere, though. We'll have a ball up for Hardyacker. Cochin.
Trent Cochin, 26 touches, leading ball winner on the ground.
It's a quiet 26 by his standards, though.
Around the ground, Stuart, TAC.
Giants have hit the front, JB, leading Melbourne by 4 points, halfway into the third.
Grant goes after it. That's Jared Grant. He's over the ball. He's tackled from behind by Pettit. Whistle, ball up.
That's enough of the around the ground stuff.
Right. I wondered why it had gone a bit quiet.
11-13, 8-9. Western Bulldogs on top. And looking to cause an upset here. Grant gets a hand to it, knocks it towards Wallace. Comes back to Grant, who kicks down towards half forward in front. Chaplin spills the mark, but gets a free kick for in the back.
Free kick, Richmond.
No, it's not advantage up.
No advantage, just off each two.
You take risks, got to keep moving the Tigers.
Chaplin, interesting kick to the centre circles, intended for Greg. Plenty of dogs there, though. Well done, though, by Martin. Goes in, plucks the footy, looks down towards half forward, comes out wide to Pettit. Right at the numbers, right half forward, short one. On the move is Lloyd, and Lloyd has taken the mark about 2 steps in from the 50, 15 metres in from the boundary, in the right full forward pocket at the city end.
He's on one leg, old Ricky Bobby Pettard. He's hobbling around.
So this is a big kick, and this guy is a good kick at goal.
You reckon he's got to drill it then? I would think he has to drill it if there's a chance.
Yeah, not easy for a right footer. Probably right goalpost, do you think, Gaz? You've kicked a few. Just let
I think somewhere through the middle.
Somewhere through the middle would that.
Well,
we confused him.
What about out in the full?
Yeah, not out there.
It's a bit of intel on Lord O is that after hours, Gary, happy.
I know, but after last week he would have been. I'm not sure this week.
They take it on here, the Western Bulldogs. Talia just hacks it. That's a poor option. Kicked it straight to Rance. He was the only player who's going to mark that ball, so they'll have a repeat entry here.
Well, wheel and go, I would have thought, for Ricky Bobby from 70 metres.
He just sits a high one up. The jumping jack is Revolt. He'll come from the side. Good mark taken in front.
Great grab.
It's Talia who takes a really nice mark.
He has grown. They've been patient with him.
Yep.
But he's getting the job done.
Hard to come by a big key defender, Spud.
No, he's growing in stature week by week, JB.
He kicks it this time, and then Lin John, I should say. I need to get that right too. He has shown a nice pair of hands at times. I said I need to get it right. As through walks Cochin. He gave it to Hunt, who gave it back to him, who was being tackled as he received the ball, and he gets a free kick.
You give Kim a game, you get your membership up.
He would.
Yeah. Now, Cochin's got a free and very lucky. The play collided with him side on, but the umpire said he tackled him. He didn't tackle him. Cranberry just clattered into him. Didn't see him there. A collision in the scheme of things. Anyway, Cochin kicks it back to Rance. Wonderful first half. He's been made much more accountable in his second. Goes short. Bashahuli. Alongside the centre circles, he goes wide to the other side of the ground. Now an opportunity for McIntosh. Turns, forced on his left boot. Not his preferred option. Got some height on it. Gordon marks it just inside the boundary. It worked out okay. So Gordon has a long kick. Dangerous situation for the Dogs to defend. That's a very long kick. A metre out, he puts it through.
Nice.
That's better.
That is a big goal.
Bontempelli couldn't get back to touch it. It kept going and going. 13-79. The Bulldogs can't shake them, and that's on the Triple M Harvey Norman scoreboard. Get the feeling we're set for a big finish.
Well, they've got to keep coming. Got to keep asking the question here. The Dogs have got to keep the pressure up. Spade, we're still alive, and they have been doing that for most of the day.
Why would we be?
No, we're not.
63-79.
Just beaten on the post.
63-79. Tigers have kicked 3 of the 4 goals of this final term. Charging at the Western Bulldogs at the MCG, who have led pretty much for the whole day. The Doggies, as down it comes to Bontempelli. Brilliant hands to Wallace. Wallace, long inside 50. Dalhouse! Oh, just couldn't hang on. Morris can get and go. Charges away from Jong. Gives it by hand to Bashahuli, halfback. Left foot raking ball, poor, straight to Boyd. That's Matty Boyd.
Should have taken the bounce, Jim. He had one on the inside on the 45. He took the bounce, and it was all over from there.
Almost inexplicable, that kick, wasn't it? Straight to the dog defender or the veteran. Back in defence. Bontempelli uses the ball well to the outer side. Dalhouse, who just about took that mark in the pocket, committed everything to trying to mark it and then exposed them out of defence, but they couldn't capitalise, the Tigers. Now McRae presents and gets a short one. Forward to the wing. 79-63. Bulldogs on top. Just under 10 minutes of actual playing time remaining. There goes the kick from McRae, then inside the forward 50. Taken under the ball. Stringer, surely. Apparently not. Rance. What a game he's played. Goes short to Gordon, who played on. Bontempelli with a chance. Hand pass came directly to him. Wallace to Wood. Wood hooks it, goal. And they've done it again. They get the response they need. Terrific pressure. And under that pressure, the Tigers wilted. So a goal to the Western Bulldogs takes them to 12-13. Richmond to 9-9 on the Triple M Harvey Norman scoreboard.
The pressure in their forward line, we thought it wasn't there early, but it's there now and the game's up for grabs. And you train that from day one of pre-season, and Luke Beveridge would be absolutely wrapped with that goal created for forward pressure. But again, was it 1-2 handball?
One too many,
for Richmond?
One too many again, and they paid the price. And I've never really been nervous about the Dogs since about halfway through early in the third quarter. They just look like they're capable of responding every time Richmond score.
It's 10 minutes, so much needs to go right here for the Tigers. Wallace has been terrific. A little claiming tackle on Cochin. Nicely done by McIntosh. Lowers the eyes and hits Flostone. Just couldn't take the mark. Butted up, went and got it though, Flostone. Handball to Marriage. Marriage to Cochin, run down by Dalhouse. It's picked off by Minnow. Minnow to Wallace. Wallace to McRae. Listen to these names, these exciting new names for the Dogs. McRae long. Jong, hands on it. Oh!
What
Jong!
a grab!
Back with the flight. Oh no.
Lee, relax. I couldn't see you had to control it.
Oh, it's a
mark.
Oh, no.
You both come down. I'm going to have to ball it up, Lee.
Oh, gee.
What's he talking about, umpire?
Alex.
He's marked the ball.
I have had an horrific afternoon. These gentlemen in control. That is as bad a decision as you'll see. Lynn John took the mark on the back of a magnificent bit of commentary. And instead of that, Gary, they're bloody throwing it up 30 out.
That's inexcusable. He must have seen that Lynn Jong had first hands on it. That's a mark.
Jeez, that's poor.
Umpire tosses it up, knocked down by Minson. John goes into the pack again, back towards Minson. And about 3 players fall on the footy.
What I did like was that Lim Jong didn't carry on like probably we would have if he had been denied the mark. Just got up and said, all right.
Like Kim John would have. Ball up,
Would have
3
been
metres
bad
out.
news for the umpy.
Knocked wide by Minson. In goes a player there in Ellis, and the ball spills away from him and goes towards the boundary and eventually runs out. So a boundary throw in. 85-63, Western Bulldogs on top. 8.5 minutes of actual playing time now. Around from the behind post in that right full forward pocket. Rucks go at it. In front, knocked down by Marriage, taken by McIntosh, goes with the outside of the boot, kicks it outside the 50. In goes Easton Wood, sliding over the top. Gordon got a hand pass, but to no one in particular. The man he gave it to was hot, and I can't recognise him because he's got 3 Bulldogs hanging off him. It's Morris who gets to his feet. He got a free kick there. One of those Bulldogs tackled high. Hand pass comes to Martin, trying to run it out. Gives a hand pass across to Hooley. Takes a hand pass back. There's Martin. He kicks it up towards the wing. Well done by Honeychurch. Just knocked it across to the advantage of Cramery. Went low, got under the would-be tackler. Got a hand pass to Wallace. Wallace kicks inside the forward 50. Flattened was Dalhouse. Rance takes no prisoners. Charges away the champion. He comes up towards the wing. We can call him that. He goes down towards half forward, reaching over the top. Blostone tried to punch away. Sliding in was Johannesson. It trickles out the back. It's picked up by Blostone. Gave it to McIntosh. Back to Blostone. Blostone inside the forward 50. Revolt is loose. Dropped the mark, did he?
No, he had it enough.
He's paid it. Coming back was Goods. And gee, there will be controversy over that John mark if Richmond were to kick a goal here and win this match.
Please.
As we do, he lines up here around the grounds for the TAC. 8 goals in a row the GWS Giants have kicked. They now lead Melbourne by 14 points. I can't help but think what also would have happened had Jack Revolt played in his rightful position from the start of this game.
So Jack Revolt set shot, and this will hurt. No, he's missed.
Bad miss.
It is a bad miss. I mean,
Justice.
we are a broadcaster that never focuses on officials, but don't tell me they don't make a difference, bud. You pay the correct mark there, He goes and kicks a goal. The game's finished.
The game's over.
It's over. And now Richmond has still got to play on the footy. As short it is to McRae, and he takes it inside defensive 50. At the moment it's 64 to 85, 21 points, and there's 6.5 minutes left. So as it stands, the Tigers have got a huge mountain to climb. Matty Boyd's been very good. His numbers, Stuart?
23 touches, 81% by foot.
Which is rare for Matty. He's
playing at half back.
The thing about there's more space, guys, on the half back line to hit targets. I reckon it's a good move from Luke Beveridge.
And you get a lot of overlap easy because you outnumber in the back half, so you don't have to try and invent something.
Bontempelli been very good, so's McRae. So,
well, Bontempelli's been, if this is a quiet game, Jim, then you got the mate. Well, you've seen a champion emerge because he's had influence.
McRae just sits a long one up. Good mark taken by Marich for the Tigers. 6 minutes left, 21 points adrift.
Marich goes short. Cochin has it just outside the defensive 50. Time the enemy now of the Tigers. Cochin goes across the ground. Batchelor has been very handy. Marks and plays on. High kick towards the wing, coming up to mid at Roughhead. Got a pretty unkind bounce. It went behind. It's going to be a free kick, I think, to Pettit. Advantage is played. Ellis to Hooley. Hooley kicks inside the forward 50. Big pack. Punched away by the defence down in front. After it goes Lloyd. Crashing in down there was Dalhouse. Little guy stood his ground valiantly. Won the football. We've got a whistle. It's going to be a ball up.
Well, Lloyd
there's carnage down there.
Yeah, Lloyd had to stay down. He actually came in over the top. It was Revolt's mark.
What are the tackle numbers, please, Stuart?
All in favour of the Bulldogs, 70 to 44.
Jeez, they've tackled brilliantly in this game of footy. Dalhouse brings it away. He sits a long one down the line. Chaplin comes back to pick it up. Handball to Rance inside the centre of the G.
Without this bloke, they'd be 10 goals down, the Tigers, Rance.
Rance to a 1-on-2. McIntosh has got to make it work. Easton Wood took a terrific mark.
It's a great mark. It's a really interesting, we'll talk about it in a break, but Cochin's game versus Bontempelli's game. It's a really interesting comparison, I reckon.
Johannesson can go sideways, back to Easton Wood. So 4.5 left, 4 minutes 50 left to kick 4 unanswered goals. It's going to be very tough from here for the Tigers. What about the Western Bulldogs?
Well, that's on the back of JB. Higgins, Griffin, Gia, Cooney, Jones and Williams all leaving the club in the off-season.
Yeah.
And a very good pre-season. They played good NAB challenge footy. And now they're playing good regular season footy. Kick long. Minson gets a double-fisted slap in there. Dalhouse went without it. Geez, some tired boys now. It comes to Picken. Picken to Wallace. Wallace shovels it back to McRae. McRae wants his left side. Gets it. Tumbling, dangerous ball. Jong at the back. Can he control it? He's got a couple to beat. The right boot needed for Hooley. Wasn't able to access it. Miles will get a free kick.
Well, the thing about it, Jim, is they've won with Tom Boyd 3 possessions, Ace Cordy 2 possessions. They're 2 key position forwards. No input at all.
Dysfunctional forward line with the exception of Dixon, but gee, their work rate has been exceptional up the ground. Brilliant pick up by Martin. Tigers still coming then. Ball comes across, shot at goal is offline. Missed there by Newman. Wasn't easy because he was under pressure, but we saw him kick a fine goal earlier. He needed to duplicate it right there.
The Dogs, 3:43 left on the commander clock. Long and wide. Then John's going to have another fly here. He's not ashamed to have a crack in the air, or not afraid, I should say. It's going to come to the back, though, and the Tigers here can re-enter through Cochin to Gordon, who takes the mark. 48 from home.
Well, you're going to be quick, Flash. 3.5 minutes on the clock. 20 points of difference. You might as well go quickly.
Yep. After he kicks this, if he takes the full quota, they're inside the last 3 minutes, and that's not a lot of time in modern footy when you're this far adrift, so he has to kick the goal. Even then, they'll need 3 unanswered. It's wide, it's coming back, but not enough. It's a behind. 12-13, 85 Dogs, 9-12, 66 Tigers. Triple M Harvey Norman scoreboard.
So the Dogs get the ball back. Under 3 minutes remaining of actual playing time. Short one comes into Johannesson.
What are the tackles in both forward halves, please, Ash?
Bulldogs, Spud, 38. Richmond only at 24.
Bob Murphy under pressure, kicks it out of bounds on the full. So quickly Gordon grabs the footy, wants to go, looks inboard. Kicks right to the 50, but a more central position. Thumped away, though, by the Dogs. It comes to Bontempelli, spots Honeychurch, needs to mark and stop. He decides to run. Nobody up ahead. Well, lack of talking. And as a result, they turn it over. I think they're still home, but take that mark and just stop and dig in.
He did have Morris the other side, just didn't see him there. As Chaplin able to get a handball forward. Oh, Lloyd ripped in a Murphy tackle. It was fantastic. And then Morris puts a nice one on as well. Ellis. Just an end-on-ender will find the guts of Revolt. Tight angle. Got to go back and kick it. He runs around, tries for a 45-metre banana. It's across the face and killed by the Dog defence to be thrown in deep.
Well, Rand's got the ball at centre back. He's been one of the best couple of players on the ground. But when you're 20 points down with 2 minutes, you don't go to the boundary. You take the game on, run up through the middle of the ground and take the shortest route home. That's why they ended up out where Revolt marked the footy.
Doing all the attacking here, the Tigers. But they've only got 2 minutes left. Matty Boyd, handball dangerously back into play. Flostone, Cochin, Miles with a snap. Across the face it goes. Newman, that's out in the full. Some relief here for the Dogs.
That should do it. Well,
the thing about I like of this win is the attitude of the Bullies, and that's coach-driven. Their attitude to pressure the opposition. That's not skill or talent, that's coaching.
Murphy kicks a high ball.
Done a great job. Sorry, Dennis.
So, no, my fault there. Close to the boundary line. They'll consume some time here as they kick it backwards, and Talia's got it now at right half back. So a very mature response from a very immature team. It's a terrific thing for the Western Bulldogs. There goes the high ball to the wing. Let's go around the grounds for the TAC as the ball spills out of bounds on right centre wing for the Dogs.
Three-quarter time. Giants have kicked 10 in a row. They're 11-8, 74.
10 goals in a row.
Leading the Demons by 26 points, 7-6-48.
Well, the story is here is how promising the Western Bulldogs are. But this is a Richmond side, and Jim, you alluded to it, that they drop games when they get content. They got nothing to be content about.
Yeah. Goods.
They played one final, and the game was over inside 6 minutes.
To Grimes, to Martin, who's been pretty good today. Dusty.
29 touches, JB.
Off to Chaplin. And Chaplin goes to Rance, who's been unbelievably good. This is a dangerous one now. Ellis is going to walk into a ferocious Matty Boyd tackle. This is an animal, Matty Boyd. You don't bust out of a tackle laid by number 5, Spud.
No, how many's he had, Asher, on the hard yak as the tackles?
Yeah, he's had 4 tackles along with his 25 touches.
Very nice game of football. So the Dogs, just 50 seconds left. 2 wins from 2 games and taken down a couple of pretty good opponents too, West Coast and then Richmond. Lots to like about the Western Bulldogs. Mark dropped by Gordon. And a pretty ordinary handball to Flostone, who then gives a very ordinary handball to Ling John. Here we are. Talia walked into a tackle. Very, very tired players. Boyd there as well. That's Tom. Grigg taken in a tackle. McRae wrapped up. And the umpire blows it dead with 28 seconds left, and it's 85-66 Western Bulldogs.
Attendance today for Saturday football just under 50, 49,945. That's impressive too. It's a good atmosphere.
Yeah,
it is. Crowd. Dixon, hand pass in hope through the legs of McRae, but the job is done. Comes wide, petted. We're down to 19 seconds. This is a terrific win. There's a free kick, and it's going to Newman. So Chris Newman has the ball right on the 50, but it matters not. The clock will start running again, and this game is over. So the Western Bulldogs, I think they'll take from this the fact that they are up to absorbing pressure and giving as good as they get.
And the top 3 ball winners for the Bullies, Bontempelli, Wallace and McRae, all youngsters for the Bulldogs.
There's the siren. Terrific result as far as the Bulldogs are concerned, and now they're starting to believe in themselves, and that shows as we take a look at the faces of some of the players. The celebrations are going on the ground. Nothing over the top, but the sort of resolve that they showed throughout the game as well. Very, very good stuff. The Bulldogs win it 12-13-85. The Tigers disappointing. They were slow to start against Carlton, and today they never got going. 9-12-66 to 85. They lose by 19 points. So the Bulldogs, who would have thought it after 2 rounds, they're undefeated.
And we look at the joy on the faces too. The Chemist Warehouse replay screen. Chemist Warehouse, by the way, the home of real brands and real savings every day. That's an excited group.
And rightfully so. And they're going to grow together, Jim. That's the thing that I think they probably should give the most optimism, is that they're going to spend a hell of a lot of time together. And you saw, Jake Stringer and Jack McRae, they recommitted. Bontempelli's, I think, committed till 17. I just don't think you'd want to separate yourself from this group at the moment. I heard a lot about Ling Jong through the pre-season. Saw him today for the first time, and all of those raps are justified. Johannesen, the other one, who seems to have taken a step forward. Murphy, well, why he hasn't been captain for the last 5 years, you probably asked that question. Let's have a listen in with the host board.